Good afternoon. How y'all doing?
Afternoon. I hope you all are doing well. You ready for my announcement, courtroom two?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the State Court Expedited Accusation Calendar. You have a right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you. You have a right to have an attorney present at these proceedings. If you do not have a private attorney, we're providing you with the assistance of a public defender this afternoon if you choose to utilize their service. Who do we have first?
Number 7, Miss Crudup.
Good afternoon, Ms. Crudup. You've been charged in case 26 CR 002240C with failure to obey a traffic control device. Who do we have on from pretrial?
Good morning, Judge, Ms. Hutcherson.
Good afternoon, Ms. Hutcherson. Yes.
Say good morning, good afternoon. She has 2 cycles. Last arrest was for a no license from 2023 out of Columbia County. And level 1 would be pretrial's recommendation and nothing further.
Afternoon, Ms. Tucker.
Good afternoon. It looks like Mr. Sirocco is not on yet. Could we start on a different case?
Okay. Let's see, what cases are yours this afternoon?
So I
Ms.
have
Tucker?
1 through pretty much the first half of the calendar with the exception of the one that you just called.
Okay, so until Mr. Sirocco gets on the line, courtroom 2, could we take Ms. Tucker's cases, please? And I see that we have Ms. Chansey here this afternoon. Good afternoon, Ms. Chansey. Thank you for joining us. Thank you, ma'am. Whoever needs an interpreter, if you can make them available at some earliest opportunity.
This case now.
Is it also ASG? Tucker, is this your case?
I'm sorry, what was the name?
His name is, give me one.
Number 18, Larios Perez.
18, no, I have 1 through 17.
We'll be with you as soon as we can, Ms. Chansey.
All right, number
Thank
9.
Yes.
Good afternoon, Mr. Denson. You have been charged in case 26 CR 002225Y with willful obstruction of law enforcement officers. Is there a history?
Yes, a total of 42 cycles. Last arrest was out of Chamblee from August of 2025 for willful obstruction of a law enforcement officer. Appears to be on probation out of Fulton County for theft by shoplifting and willful obstruction. The disposition was May of 2025. 24 CR 006431Y. 3 FTAs 2025, 2021, and 2010. A enter auto conviction from 2010. A burglary conviction from 2011, and a possession of cocaine conviction from 2011. And nothing further.
Thank you. Ms. Tucker?
Yes, Judge, you did hear that extensive history as well as a history of FTAs. We're asking for a $1,500 good bond in this case with conditions no further contact with Serenity Payne. The facts allege that officers were investigating a possible battery at a homeless camp. The victim, Miss Payne, said the man who struck her was wearing a neon shirt. When Officer Wheeler saw a man wearing a neon shirt, she was going to try to do a Tier 1 stop on him. He began running after being detained. He refused to give his name, refused to give any information. It was never determined whether he was the one who battered Miss Payne. But considering the history, the FTAs, we are asking for that $1,500 good bond and a no further contact with Miss Payne just to be sure.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Mr. Coleman.
Hi, good afternoon, Your Honor. Nice to see you.
You as well.
Mr. Denson is 51 years of age. He's lived here in Atlanta for the last 4 years. Mr. Denson is currently unemployed, therefore he has no money to post for bond. I will be requesting a signature bond on his behalf as this is a nonviolent offense.
All right, it'll be $100 good bond, no further contact with the alleged victim, and no drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Mr. Denson. And courtroom 2, I see that we have Mr. Sirocco on the line now, so we can take whatever cases we need to take.
Okay, we will. We'll go to number 14, real quick, Mr. Gresham. Number 14, Mr. Gresham. Come here. All right. Give me that big ass thing.
Good afternoon, Mr. Gresham. You have been charged in case 26 CR 002233C with criminal trespass. Is there a history, Ms. Hutcherson?
Okay, 25 cycles. Last arrest was March of this year for criminal trespass. That is an open case, 26 CR 002046C. A 2019 criminal trespass conviction, and then a 2008 possession of marijuana less than an ounce conviction. Level 3 will be pretrial's recommendation.
Thank you, Ms. Tucker.
Yes, Judge, we are asking for a $1,000 good bond. He's been criminal trespass from the Chevron multiple times, including May 23rd, 2026 and April 2nd, 2026, just 2 days before this incident. So he knew he wasn't supposed to be there. Additionally, you heard that history. He just was arrested for criminal trespass last month. I believe that might be from the same location. I'm pulling up the bond order right now to check.
The last location was at a smoking place. He's had Tucker.
Okay. Okay,
Almost done.
well, either way, he was still, warned not to have any violations of the law while out on bond, and we believe the risk of reoffense is high. We're asking for that $1,000 good bond with a stay away from the Chevron at 3565 Roosevelt Highway in South Fulton.
Ms. Lewis, good afternoon. If you still have that bond pulled up, will you tell me what the bond was and if I issued it?
It was a $30 cash bond, and he posted the bond, and that case is still open. It was done by Judge Williams.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
Yes, Mr. Coleman.
Your Honor, I'd be requesting a signature bond from Mr. Gresham. He is 72 years of age, a lifetime resident of Atlanta, Fulton County. Mr. Gresham is currently retired, living off of Social Security. This is a nonviolent offense. Again, I'd be requesting a signature bond.
All right, will be $100 cash bond. Stay away from that Chevron. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. If he doesn't make that bond, let's put both of these cases on the SAP calendar that's scheduled for April 21st. Good luck to you, Mr. Gresham.
Number 7, Ms. Crudup. Oh, I need the fee. Vincent, come on. Look, you better get your ass out. More tactical, bro.
Yes, good afternoon again, Ms. Crudup. You have again been charged in case 26 CR 002240C with failure to obey a traffic control device. I don't believe there was a history, was there, Ms. Hutcherson? I believe 2 cycles.
2 cycles, and then no license conviction from 2023.
Okay, thank you. Good afternoon, Mr. Sirocco.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. There was a little bit of driving history, speeding conviction 2024, and the no license amended from driving while license suspended or revoked 2023. We're fine with the signature bond through the jail on this. She seems to be having enough going on with the open insurance fraud case here in Fulton. No drugs, weapons, or alcohol while out on bond.
If okay with you, Mr. Coleman, it'll be a $500 signature bond through the jail, no drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Does that suit you?
That's fine, Your Honor. Thank you.
You're welcome. Good luck, Ms. Carter.
And then number 20, Mr. Parks. Man, oh.
Oh, this is a conflict case, Your Honor.
Okay,
Good afternoon, Your Honor. I'm here for Mr.
oh,
Parks.
good afternoon, Ms. McLeod. I was searching for you. Good afternoon, Mr. Parks. You have been charged in case 26 CR 002231B with simple battery family violence. Is there a history, Ms. Hutcherson?
3 cycles, and the last arrest is from 2012 for aggravated assault and criminal trespass. There was no disposition on that case. He appears to have no convictions and nothing further. Level 1 would be, level 2 would be pre-charge recommendation.
Thank you. Mr. Sirocco?
Thank you, Judge. And I looked into that aggravated assault case. It was 4 counts of ag assault, criminal damage to property in the first, and possession of a firearm during commission. That one, it looked like he received First Offender Act treatment. I don't see that it was necessarily discharged, but I did see that he received First Offender Act treatment. The incident here from April 5th. I'll say this, there's a lot going on with the family. The victim's mother has an open felony case for cruelty to children in the first and battery family violence. The same victim here, Miss Juvenile RP, for her actions on the same date. The defendant here it was reported that he had went to retrieve the juvenile RP from a neighbor's vehicle. This was after a birthday party, and he reported that RP refused to exit his car, eventually got out and began yelling. The reporting party saw that she was pulled out of the car by her father. There was video footage showing her being picked up. And she had, I believe this was from the mother's case, case against the mother here. She had a bloody nose, and there was blood in her vomit at a neighbor's residence. But here, this was the grabbing of her from the vehicle, and she had reported both of these things happening. She was born in 2016, so she is 10 years of age roughly here, almost 10. And she ran to a neighbor's residence following the defendant's actions, which followed the mother's actions earlier. And that's where she was able to seek help. Ultimately, she was transported to Grady and was accompanied by her grandmother, Miss Edna Edwards. The state's recommendation here, obviously we can't speak with the mother about this per se, and we have not been able to reach the grandmother. We are recommending $1,000 surety as well as a parenting class, no further contact with juvenile RP. We think that Miss Edwards here, who looked after her in this instance, can look after her while this case and her mother's case are ongoing. That's our recommendation, as well as no drugs, weapons, or alcohol while out on bond.
Do you know whether DFAX is involved in this matter?
I believe we've reached out, Judge. We have not heard back.
Thank you. Ms. McLeod?
Yes, Your Honor. I am asking for signature bond to the jail for my client. I read the warrant myself and I was able to speak with my client. I am a little unsure as to what exactly they are saying that my client did wrong in all of this. He tells me that he gave permission for his 9-year-old daughter to attend a skating party. And when she arrived back at the house, he said he's not sure what happened there, but she was essentially acting up, and then she left the house. He tells me that he never struck her or anything like that, you know. So I don't know what they're saying. He took her out of the car or something like that. He did tell me that he went to get her out of the car. But I'm not sure exactly what they're saying this father did wrong in all of this, Your Honor. My client is 36 years old. He's gainfully employed with the city of Atlanta. He has no criminal history at all. And I believe his last arrest was in 2012, which is a long time ago. He has it. There are a total of 7 children, he tells me, in the family, and they're all fine. He also tells me that a social worker came by and determined that everything was okay and that the juvenile could continue to reside in the household. So I think on further investigation, it will be proven that my client really did nothing wrong. I understand, as the state said, there's a lot going on with his family, but I do not believe that my client did any criminal conduct in this case, Your Honor, and I'm asking the signature bond through the jail for him.
And for your edification, Ms. McLeod, aggressively grabbing and pulling her out of the vehicle by her hair. That's
And
what's
he
alleged.
denies that that's what happened.
If nothing further, it will be a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. No further contact, no further violent contact with the alleged victim. Abide by any defects, orders, no drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Mr. Parks.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Well,
And that concludes my business before the court today. May I be excused?
yes, have a good afternoon. Thank you, Ms. McLeod.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Who do we have next, Courtroom 2?
18 Solarios.
Does he require the interpreter, Ms. Kim? Okay. And Ms. Chancey, I saw you earlier today. You're still under oath from when I swore you in earlier.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, good afternoon, Mr. Larios Perez. You have been charged in case 26 CR 002227L with request for ambulance service when not reasonably needed.
Buenas tardes, señor Larios Pérez. En el caso 26CR002227L, usted tiene un cargo por solicitar el servicio de una ambulancia sin necesidad.
Is there a history, Ms. Hutcherson?
¿Hay antecedentes, señora Hutchinson?
Yes. He has a total of 18 cycles.
Sí, tiene un total de 18 ciclos.
He currently has an open case with pretrial services. The case number is 26 CR 001709L. And the charge is for unlawful conduct during 911 call by using obscene language to intimidate or harass 911 officer.
Él tiene uno de los cargos que tiene el número 26R001709L y con también un contacto con, con la línea 911 teniendo una confrontación con un oficial de policía.
So we're going to be surrendering that bond. And he also has a September of 2025 conviction for 2 counts of terroristic threats and disorderly conduct.
Él tiene también una fianza también de septiembre del 2025 que lo condena por dos cargos de amenazas terroristas y también por conducta negligente.
A 2024 failure to appear a 2013 conviction for willful obstruction and criminal trespass,
One moment, can you repeat the last one, please?
2013 convictions for willful obstruction of a law enforcement officer and criminal trespass.
One moment, please. También existe otra convicción del 2013 por obstrucción a la autoridad y por allanamiento de morada. Thank you.
And nothing further to add. Level 3 would be pretrial's recommendation.
Nada más que agregar y se recomienda que el servicio a través de los servicios antes del juicio se haga en el nivel 3.
Mr. Sirocco, this sounds familiar to me. Did I sign that 911 bond previously?
Yes, you did, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. You can proceed. Well, let her translate that and then you can proceed.
Fui yo quien firmó esa orden de la llamada de el 911, sí, su señoría.
And that for that case, that did involve alcohol, as does this. He was heard there extremely slurred and obviously intoxicated in his conduct and correspondence with the 911 operators there.
En ese caso, que involucraba el alcohol, se escuchó que balbuceaba y obviamente estaba intoxicado y reflejaba también su estado en su conducta y la manera de comunicarse con los operadores del 911.
And I also saw there was an additional felony terroristic threats and acts case of which he was convicted 2024. There was the same charge as here associated with that case that was ultimately dismissed. And I'll hold because I have to read a number, but go ahead, Miss Interpreter. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. También hubo un cargo adicional por amenazas terroristas, lo que es un delito mayor. Em, en la causa por la que fue condenado en el 2024, hubo también un cargo asociado aquí em, en esta causa, la cual fue desestimada finalmente. You may continue, sir.
Thank you. And he was convicted, I see, July 3rd, 2025, of the same offense as here, under 25 CR 000245F. And that is, again, request for ambulance service when not reasonably needed.
Él también fue declarado culpable. Veo que con la fecha del 3 de julio del 2025, él fue condenado por este mismo delito que tenemos hoy aquí en la causa 25 CR000245F. Y esto es nuevamente por solicitud de servicio de ambulancia cuando no era razonablemente necesario.
This incident here, Your Honor, took place April 3rd of this year at 222 Ivywood Lane in Roswell. Officers were dispatched there in reference to a medical complaint.
Y el incidente ocurrió el 3 de abril a las 2 en el 222 de Ivywood Lane en Roswell y se despacharon a los oficiales a este lugar en referencia a una solicitud de por emergencia médica.
The caller, who was the defendant, was complaining of a medical complaint and requested AMR to transport him to North Fulton, and was clearly intoxicated when the officer arrived on scene. They told him they could not transport him there due to the hospital receiving multiple emergency patients, and that they'd take him to Northside Cherokee. But he said that was too far. He wanted to go to North Fulton. And he slammed the door in their faces and refused assistance at that point.
Am, bueno, el acusado manifestaba una dolencia médica y solicitó que se lo trasladara al hospital de North Fulton cuando llegó el oficial al lugar de los hechos. Este sujeto se encontraba claramente intoxicado. Se le informó que no podía ser trasladado a tal hospital debido a que estaba recibiendo múltiples llamadas de emergencia, pero se lo podía llevar a la facilidad de Cherokee. Pero él argumentó que quedaba demasiado lejos e insistió en ir al hospital de North Fulton, am, tras la cual, como no se pudo, no pudo lograr esto, él cerró la puerta en las narices de los oficiales en ese momento y rechazó recibir asistencia.
He consistently calls when he is intoxicated and requests to be brought to the hospital so he can sober up. And that is certainly clear from his history here, sometimes associated with felony cases here, Judge. He clearly needs help. He clearly has substance abuse issues. And with the FTA, the recent convictions, the state's recommendation is a $2,000 surety.
One moment, please.
And let me know if you need me to repeat anything. Sorry. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Bueno, este acusado solicita ser trasladado al hospital para poder estar sobrio cuando él se encuentra bajo los efectos del alcohol. También esto queda claro a partir de sus antecedentes en este tribunal. También a veces esto lo ha hecho cometer delitos graves. Su señoría, evidentemente, él necesita ayuda y es innegable que tiene problemas de abuso de sustancias, así como eh, tenemos el caso del incumplimiento de comparecencias ante el tribunal. Y por esta razón se solicita o recomienda una fianza de $2,000 bajo garantía.
We're also recommending an alcohol drug evaluation and any recommended treatments, especially given he's in violation of the open case involving alcohol. No calls requesting emergency services absent bona fide emergency, random screens for drugs and alcohol, and no drugs, weapons, or alcohol while out on bond. This is a hindrance and a waste of the time and the resources of first responders here, Judge.
One moment. Bueno, también se solicita que se someta a una evaluación de drogas y alcohol y cualquier tratamiento que sea recomendado. Específicamente, se solicita la prohibición de consumir alcohol y que no haga llamadas solicitando atención médica de emergencia, salvo en caso de que sea una emergencia genuina. También que se realice o se someta a pruebas aleatorias de detección de drogas y alcohol y que se prohíba la tenencia de drogas, armas y alcohol em, mientras se encuentre bajo fianza, ya que esto constituye un obstáculo para servir a casos verídicos.
Thank you. Ms. Kim?
And you are familiar with my client, Mr. Larios Perez. He had a car accident about 10 or 12 years ago. He was under the coma for more than a month.
Am, bueno, él sufrió un accidente automovilístico hace unos 10 o 12 años y permaneció en coma por más de un mes.
And Your Honor, he actually had a brain damage, and you can see that there was a lot of surgery done to his brain.
Como puede ver su señoría, él sufrió un daño cerebral y se puede ver que se le realizaron muchas cirugías en el cerebro.
He also have different metal pieces into his body.
Él también tiene colocada una pieza de metal en el interior.
He is sponsored by Hemophilia Georgia, which is a non-profit organization for blood disorder.
También él está mm, diagnosticado por Hemophilia Georgia, que es una organización sin fines de lucro y se dedica a tratar trastornos de coagulación.
I don't think he has any intention. He just had a seizure and he was afraid of what was going on in his body.
Yo no creo que él tuvo la intención de cometer esta acción. eh, Él acaba de tener una convulsión y acababa de tener una convulsión, eh, perdone, y tenía miedo de lo que le estaba pasando o qué iba a pasar con su cuerpo.
Your Honor, my client denies the allegation of being intoxicated. He has to take lots of pain medicines. Sometimes those pain medicine can cause him to blur a little bit as if he was drunk.
Um, eh, bueno, en realidad él toma muchos medicamentos que pueden causarle a él un balbuceo que lo hace sonar como si él estuviera ebrio.
Your Honor, we would like to request for a social worker to visit him for the evaluation for BHET. And yet, we also ask for the lowest possible bond, signature on bond, since he has no other funds to pay for the bond.
Bueno, nos gustaría solicitar que un trabajador o trabajadora social lo visite para que él pueda tener una evaluación por salud mental y también solicitamos que una fianza que sea lo más baja posible ya que él no dispone de medios para cubrir el costo de la misma.
Nothing further from defense, Your Honor.
Nada más de la defensa, su señoría.
It will be a $2,000 good bond, a social worker visit to assess for BHET, alcohol drug evaluation and any treatment that's necessary.
En realidad será una fianza de $2,000 que se ordenó la visita de un trabajador social para que realice la evaluación de su salud en su comportamiento. También prohibición de alcohol y drogas. Am- en este momento.
No contacting EMS services without a valid emergency, and no drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond.
Your Honor,
Se prohíbe todo contacto con los servicios de emergencia médica, salvo en el caso en que tenga una emergencia válida. También se prohíbe el uso de drogas, alcohol y tenencia de armas mientras esté libre bajo fianza.
Yes, Kasha, good afternoon.
yes, good afternoon, Your Honor. I have already spoken with this client in the past on his past cases. He has a TBI that is not going to necessarily require a BHET because that's something that can't necessarily be reversed through therapy or medications. He does have verified seizures and he does, call the ambulance to try and get help with his seizures, but sometimes I guess whatever the communication doesn't work out for him and he often is arrested for it.
Bueno, yo he hablado con esta persona durante los casos anteriores y también él padece una lesión cerebral traumática. No hace falta ser médico para entender que se trata de una condición que no necesariamente puede revertirse con tratamiento medicamentos. Hay un historial confirmado de convulsiones y que él suele llamar por teléfono porque no puede controlarlas y pareciera que a veces la comunicación falla. Por esa razón o por lo que sea, no se le envía la asistencia solicitada.
Kasha, do you know whether or not any of the medications that he is on makes him present as if he's intoxicated?
He's
¿Sabe
taking
si
any
alguno
type,
de
I'm sorry.
sabe si los medicamentos que está tomando hace que se comporte de una manera como si estuviera ebrio?
If he is taking any type of narcotic or opiate type of medication that would cause you to slur your words if the dosage, because it makes you drowsy in a sense. So he could appear to be intoxicated due to whatever type of medication he's taking.
Ah, bueno, él está tomando un tipo de narcótico que provocaría que la persona arrastre las palabras si la dosis es alta. Em, en cierto sentido, también causan somnolencia. Por eso podría parecer que está intoxicado debido a este tipo de medicamento.
Thank you, Kasha. I appreciate your input.
And Your Honor, even if and while this is all good, I still think an alcohol drug evaluation and any recommended treatment would probably be a good idea here with even taking this outside of Ms. Kim, you said he was injured 10 years ago, roughly a decade ago?
Yes.
Okay, I did see there was an older pedestrian in a roadway.
She can't interpret all that,
Thank
Mr.
you, thank you.
Thank-
Bueno, yo creo que todo está bien, pero igual pienso que haría falta una evaluación de alcoholismo y drogadicción o cualquier otro tratamiento recomendado. Sería una buena idea en este caso si lo consideramos al margen del asunto. Usted dijo que él sufrió esta lesión hace 10 años.
I still think it would be a good idea to have that evaluation done and get some feedback on that before moving forward with any further recommendations regarding ADET or any other issues that we might be able to address we would otherwise address down the road regarding substance abuse. I think now is a good time to address that with the open cases, the previous convictions. I think I still think there is a problem,
One
but
moment,
yeah.
please. De todas maneras, yo sigo pensando que sería una buena idea de que se haga la evaluación y que reciba tratamiento si es necesario al respecto antes de recibir cualquier recomendación adicional con respecto a ADT por sus siglas en inglés o a cualquier otro problema que podamos abordar. Eso se puede tratar en un futuro y en relación del abuso de sustancias, pero creo que ahora es un buen momento que se haga ese tipo de evaluación.
So, Ms. Kim, I am going to give him a signature bond, a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. I'm also going to require that he does get the alcohol drug evaluation and any treatment.
Bueno, señora Kim, yo voy a darle una fianza bajo firma de $2,000 a través de los servicios previos al juicio en el nivel 1 y voy a exigirle que se someta a una evaluación de drogas y alcohol con cualquier otro tratamiento que fuese necesario.
He is also not to contact EMS without a valid emergency and have no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond.
Él también tiene prohibido contactarse con los servicios de emergencia médica y también se prohíbe el uso de drogas, alcohol y armas mientras se encuentre en libertad bajo fianza. Interpreter's clarification. Drogas ilegales. Illegal drugs. That's what you meant.
Yes, yes. I will also ask, because of the circumstances of this case, that pretrial not surrender that previous bond.
Y también por la naturaleza de este caso, establezco que no se otorgue la fianza previa, solo la que acabo de hacer.
Up to you, sir.
So, Your Honor, for clarity,
Buena suerte, señor.
this is gonna be through pretrial now?
It is.
Okay, 2,000 level 1.
Yes,
Thank you.
you're welcome. Okay. Do we have any other cases for Madam Interpreter this afternoon? Ms. Kim, Mr. Coleman? Any other cases that require
Your Honor.
Ms. Chansey?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Chansey. We appreciate
You're
your assistance
welcome.
this
Gracias,
afternoon.
señor.
All right, let's get number 1, Mr. Bochamp.
Oh, they pay for it. Don't worry.
I got it.
Good afternoon, Sean. You have been charged in case 26 CR 002239D with criminal trespass and damage to property. Is there a history?
No, sir.
Hold on, sir. I'm asking Ms. Hutcherson there. Thank you.
3 cycles. Last arrest was from January of 2022 for criminal trespass. That case was DC time served and nothing further to add. Level 1 will be pre-charge recommendation.
Thank you, Ms. Tucker.
Yes, Judge, we're fine with a $1,500 signature bond through level 1, with conditions no further contact with Michael Davis and to stay away from 765 McDaniel Street in Atlanta. We were hoping to speak with the victim before submitting a consent bond, so that obviously didn't happen. But the facts allege that this defendant changed the locks on Mr. Davis, his roommate. Once Mr. Davis finally got in, he found his TV was completely smashed and destroyed. So for those reasons, we're fine with the $1,500 signature bond, but we are asking for no further contact and to stay away from that location.
If Mr. Michael Davis is on the line and wishes to address the court, now is your opportunity. Doesn't appear so. Any objection with any of that, Mr. Coleman?
No objection to the signature bond, Your Honor, but we will be requesting that there be no further violent contact, as I believe that this is Mr. Beauchamp's apartment.
Given that we have not spoken with Mr. Davis, this time it'll be no further contact, but and a stay away. He can have a one-time escort to retrieve any belongings if necessary. If we hear different from Mr. Davis, I'm amenable to a modification. Okay, so it'll be a $1,500 signature bond through pretrial level 1, no further contact, stay away, and no drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, sir.
Mr. Beauchamp, did you still want me to call your employer?
Do you have any idea what time I would be signing the signature bond to get out of here?
It could be up to 24 hours.
Will I be able to make a phone call?
You can ask the sheriff.
Okay, awesome.
All right, thank you.
Number 5, Mr. Brown.
This is position 5, Kyle Brown. Good afternoon, Mr. Brown. You have been charged in case 26 CR 002247L with simple battery family violence. Is there a history, Ms. Hutcherson?
A total of 3 cycles. Last arrest was from 2017 for willful obstruction of a law enforcement officer, a 2012 conviction for simple battery, and then a 2008 conviction for assault out of Texas. And level 2 will be pre-charge recommendation and nothing further.
Thank you. Ms. Tucker?
Yes, Judge, we're asking for a $1,500 good bond with conditions no further violent contact with Carmen Wright. These facts allege that the victim and the defendant were arguing about separating. They are living together at this location and they do share 3 children. They're not married though. During this argument, the defendant slapped the victim in the face with an open hand. She ran to the neighbor's house to call 911, and the defendant was not on scene when officers arrived. That's why this occurred last month. We were able to speak with Miss Wright. She said she did confirm everything in the warrant. She said there's a history of abuse, financial abuse, sexual abuse in the almost 5-year relationship. She said based on the history, that's why she was so afraid. Even though it was just a slap, she knew to get out of there immediately, and she went to the neighbor's house to call. Despite that, she says he has nowhere to go, so she doesn't want to stay away. She wants a no further violent contact. But considering everything she said to us, we're asking for that $1,500 good bond with no further violent contact with Carmen Wright.
Ms. Wright, I see you on the line. If you would like to address the court, now is your opportunity to do so. I'll need for you to activate your camera, and I'll need to swear you in if you choose to address the court this afternoon. Ms. Wright, I take it that you do not want to address the court. Mr. Coleman?
Your Honor, I'd be requesting signature bond for Mr. Brown. He is 43 years of age. He's resided here in Atlanta for the last 4 years. Mr. Brown is a high school graduate. He is the father of 3 very young children, ages 10 months, 2 years, and 3 years. It looks like his last interaction with the police was some 9 years ago, back in 2017. Given his limited criminal history, I would be requesting a signature bond.
$2,000 signature bond for pre-trial level 2.
I'm sorry, you're kind of breaking up. I didn't hear.
Will be a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial level 2. Want him to begin the family violence intervention program. No further violent contact with Ms. Wright. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Good luck to you, Mr. Brown.
Number 6, Mr. Burns. Number 6, Mr. Burns. Number 6, Mr. Burns. Mr. Burns.
Good afternoon, Mr. Burns. You have been charged in case 26 CR 002236D with criminal trespass. Is there a history, Ms. Hutcherson?
Give me 30 seconds. I just wanted to make sure I had the right burns. Yes, I show a total of 7 cycles. 1 FTA from 2021, and then also a current open case for criminal trespass. That is a pretrial case. The case number is 26 CR 001773D, and we will be surrendering that bond. I do not see any convictions on his history, and nothing further.
Thank you. Mr. Sirocco?
Yes, Your Honor, I did see criminal trespass, fair evasion conviction 2022. And yeah, the open case 1773D, that is the criminal trespass. It's at the same location as here, 140 Pine Street in Atlanta. He received a $1,000 signature bond, pretrial level 1 from Judge Mincy on the 17th of March. This was an April 6th incident at 140 Pine Street in Atlanta. He had previously been issued a criminal trespass warning for trespassing on the property, and then it states that he had subsequently been arrested as recently as March 17th. That was the last case we dealt with. And he was identified there. Currently, bond is set at a $3,000 surety. We'd be fine with a $1,500 surety here. Social worker visit for BHET and housing. It appears he was staying in this in one of the rooms at this location. That's where they found him. Stay away from 140 Pine Street, Northeast Atlanta. No drugs, weapons, or alcohol while out on bond, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Coleman.
Your Honor, I'd be requesting a signature bond for Mr. Burns. He is 36 years of age. He's lived here in Atlanta for the last 9 years. Mr. Burns is a high school graduate. He is presently unemployed, therefore he has no money to post for bond. This is a nonviolent offense. Again, I'd be requesting a signature bond.
It will be a $1,000 good bond, a social worker visit to assist with housing if necessary, stay away from the Pine Street location, no drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Mr. Burns. Ms. Wright, I see you there. We have completed the case that you were here on. Unless you have some objection to a no further violent contact, which is what was ordered in the case, your husband has gotten a signature bond. Okay? All right, you're free to go, ma'am. Have a good afternoon. Who do we have next?
Number 10, Mr.
Good afternoon, Mr. Dixon. You have been charged in case 26 CR 002224F with simple battery against a person who is pregnant at the time of the offense. Is there a history, Ms. Hutcherson?
I show a total of 5 cycles. Last arrest was from this month out of Cobb County for theft by shoplifting. That case appears to be open, and then also appears to have an open DUI case out of Cobb County. And level 2 will be pretrial's recommendation and nothing further.
Tucker?
Yes, Judge, we're asking for a $2,500 good bond with conditions no further contact with Caroline Weber and to stay away from the Loyal Tavern Restaurant at 950 Canton Street in Roswell. An independent witness in this case called 911 about the defendant in the restaurant harassing customers. He also said that the defendant grabbed his girlfriend, this victim, who was visibly pregnant, by the wrist and then by the shoulders. The officers were able to speak with her. She said she's due in January. She wasn't sure if he was under the influence of alcohol or something else. You did hear he's got that history of DUI, and the fact that he was so rowdy and aggressive with her that an independent witness called 911. We're asking for that $2,500 good bond with conditions no further contact and to stay away, as well as no alcohol or drugs while out on bond.
Tell me the alleged victim's name again, Ms. Tucker.
Caroline Weber. And we did not get in contact with her. We were unable to prior to this moment. But if we could sound for her to see if she showed.
Thank you. If Ms. Weber is on the line and wishes to address the court, now is your opportunity. Does not appear so. Mr. Coleman?
Your Honor, I'd be requesting a signature bond from Mr. Dixon. He is 30 years of age, a lifetime resident of Atlanta, Fulton County. Mr. Dixon is a high school graduate. He's employed at Freeman Expositions at the Georgia World Congress Center for the last 10 years, so I would like to preserve his job. Point of clarification, Mr. Dixon states that he does not know this Caroline Weber. She is described in the police report as his girlfriend. He states that this person is a total stranger to him. He's also denying these allegations. Again, we'd be requesting a signature bond.
Signature bond. Trial level 2.
I'm sorry, I can't.
I want him to $5,000 signature bond through pretrial level 2. I want him to have an alcohol drug evaluation and a treatment that's necessary. No further contact with the alleged victim. Stay away from her residential location. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Mr. Dixon.
Next at 17, Mr. James.
Good afternoon, Mr. James. You are charged in case 26 CR 002230H with battery, family violence, and battery against a female who is pregnant. Is there a history, Ms. Hutcherson?
This appears to be his first arrest.
Ms. Tucker?
Yes, Judge. We're asking for a $1,500 good bond on each count for a total of $3,000, with conditions no further contact with Kiara Duluth, as well as to stay away from 740 Sidney Marcus Boulevard in Atlanta. The facts allege that when officers arrived, they could hear yelling inside the residence before they even knocked. Once they got in, the victim said they were arguing when the defendant turned aggressive, started damaging items in the apartment. She said he grabbed her and shook her, leaving her with a visible scratch on her face, which appeared fresh with blood. She also let officers know she's been pregnant for over a month. The defendant is not the father, but that they all knew that she was pregnant. So just based on the violence alleged, we would be asking for that $3,000 total good bond and no further contact with Kiera Duluth, as well as to stay away from this incident location. They were living together.
Thank you. Ms. Kim?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. James is 50 years old, and I believe that incident location is her place, and he is moving out from that location immediately since he is kind of shocked. This is his first arrest ever. They don't have children together. If he denies the allegation that he believes the complaint and the allegation is false, and we ask for signature on bond through pretrial level 1, considering the fact that this is his first arrest ever. Your Honor, he is currently gainfully employed at Chick-fil-A, and he works as a cook, and he does a lot of different services as well. He graduated from high school. Your Honor, he's very healthy, and we just need to get one-time law enforcement officer escort visit to move out his personal belongings, and that's all we need. Thank you.
For each count will be a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1, makes for a total of a $4,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. No further contact with Ms. Duluth. Stay away from the Sidney Marcus Boulevard location. He can go back to that location on one occasion with law enforcement to retrieve any belongings. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Mr. James.
Thank you. Mr. 21, Mr. Patel.
Good afternoon, Mr. Pacquiao. You've been charged in case 26 CR 002234G with 2 counts of battery family violence and 2 counts of simple battery family violence. Is there a history, Ms. Hutcherson?
One moment. This appears to be his first arrest.
Mr. Sirocco?
Thank you, Judge. This incident took place April 5th, 2026 at 13085 Morris Road in Milton. That's the Deerfield Village Apartments complex. Defense, I'm sure, will articulate what the defendant argued to police here. But with respect to the victim here, Mr. William Mason, the two are living together, from what I can understand, and I believe are dating here. The officer spoke with him, and it was on the drive home from a friend's house that the defendant became angry with him and grabbed him while he was driving. He explained the defendant was hitting and scratching him, so he tried to strike the defendant because he couldn't pull over. And then they arrived at the apartment, and he went into the bathroom to clean the scratch that the victim sustained on his eye. And the defendant followed him into the restroom, was talking to him, and stated that the scratch looked good and that he antagonized it. And that he liked it, excuse me, but continued antagonizing him. And while he was in the bathroom, defendant threw things at the bathroom door. Officer observed broken wall decoration there. And as he was trying to leave, the victim was trying to exit the bathroom to go get his phone beside his bed, and the defendant blocked him as he left the bathroom. And started trying to fight him. And Mr. Mason had pushed the defendant to the ground at that point. And there was a skirmish on the ground wherein the defendant bit his right arm. The officer observed 4 bright red marks on Mr. Mason's right arm in the bicep area. Skin on the red marks was broken and bleeding. The bite mark, it appears, was on his arm, was beginning to change colors and bruise, becoming black and purple. And as well, they observed multiple scratches on his face, one under his left eye and another one on his forehead. There were no visible injuries observed on the defendant here, Judge. State's recommendation is a $3,000 surety, 1,000 for each battery family violence, and 500 for each simple battery family violence. We would recommend FFIB, as well as no further contact with William Mason. Stay away from the Deerfield Village Apartments at 13085 Morris Road in Milton, and no drugs, weapons, or alcohol while out on bond. We have not been able to speak with Mr. Mason yet. We would ask that the court sound for him if he was able to make it online with us today. And that is all for the state.
If Mr. William Mason is on the line and wishes to address the court, now is your opportunity. Does not appear so. Ms. Kim?
Yes, Your Honor, this is actually I just kind of couldn't understand how the police officer could not see all these marks on him. I can totally see it here, Your Honor. He's got scratches, bruises. It's very obvious that he was the one who was hurt. And my client is 23 years old, and Your Honor, he is working at a Thai restaurant as a cook, and he came to Georgia about 3 years ago. And Mr. William Mason and my clients, they have been living together for the last 1.5 years. They don't have a child together, and my client is willing to move out. Your Honor, he was the one who has been beaten up. He's very feminine. He's not a violent person. His personality is very quiet, collective. I don't think that was him who initiated this fight at all. But the other party is very light. He doesn't have a dark skin like my client does, so it's more obvious to see his scars or bruises. But my client does have a scars here. Here, I can totally see right here on the left hand. It's a scratch mark that is still red. I guess someone did not want to see darker skins also get those bruises and marks. So we would like to request for a signature on bond, and I ask for that's all I want to ask for.
For each battery will be a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. For each simple battery, a $1,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. Makes for a total of a $6,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. No further contact with Mr. Mason. Stay away from the incident location. He can go back to that location on one occasion with law enforcement to retrieve any belongings. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you so much. Defendant number 2, Mr. Bradwell.
Good afternoon, Mr. Barwell. You've been charged in case 26 CR 002241J with criminal trespass, willful obstruction of law enforcement, and giving false information to law enforcement. Is there a history, Ms. Hutcherson?
Yes, 20 cycles. Appears to have a open case for terroristic threats and intimidate law enforcement officer or family in retaliation to discharge of an officer official duties. That is from 2025, case number 25 PI 007141. Appears to have an open case out of Albany from 2024 for criminal damage to property in the second degree. FTAs 1 in 2024 and 2 in 2007. A fray conviction 2008, and then a fleeing or attempting to elude conviction 2002. Level 3 would be pretrial recommendation.
Thank you. Ms. Tucker?
Yes, Judge, you did hear he's got those open felony cases as well as a couple FTAs. We're asking for $1,000 good on the criminal trespass, $1,000 good on the obstruction, and $500 good on the giving false name for a total of $2,500, as well as to stay away from the Walmart at 835 MLK Jr. Drive in Atlanta. These facts allege that when officers arrived, he was standing in the doorway of the store, causing a disturbance, yelling at officers, yelling at customers, and refusing to leave after being asked several times by the security officer. Once he was detained, he only gave the name Brian and would give nothing else. So we're asking for that $2,500 total good bond as well as the stay away and a social worker visit for potential MH issues.
Thank you, Mr. Coleman.
Your Honor, be requesting a signature bond for Mr. Bradwell. He is 57 years of age. He is a high school graduate. Mr. Bradwell served 5 years in the U.S. Army. He's presently unemployed, living off of disability. These are nonviolent offenses. Again, I'd be requesting a signature bond for Mr. Bradwell.
Okay, for the criminal trespass, a $500 good bond. For each of the other charges, a $250 good bond makes for a total of $1,000 good bond. I'd like for him to have a social worker visit to assess for BHET and any housing issues. Stay away from that Walmart on MLK Junior Drive. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, sir.
Number 8, Dave Nix.
Good afternoon, Mr. Davis. You have been charged in case 26 CR 002232C with 2 counts of simple battery family violence. Is there a history, Ms. Hutcherson?
I show 40 cycles or 39 cycles, 37 out of Florida and 2 out of Georgia. Last arrest, October of 2025, out of Henry County for tampering with evidence, DUI, and possession of a Schedule I controlled substance. That case appears to be open. A grand theft conviction out of Florida from 23. Resistant officer conviction, 2012 out of Florida. Smuggle contraband conviction, 2012 out of Florida. Burglary conviction, 2012 out of Florida. And a sale of cocaine, 2009 out of Florida. Level 2 would be pretrial's recommendation.
Thank you. Ms. Tucker?
Yes, Judge, we're asking for $1,000 good bond on each count for a total of $2,000 with conditions no further contact with Jenny Mojica and to stay away from 573 Edgewood Ave, as well as no alcohol or drugs while out on probation. These facts allege that the defendant and victim had been out partying. The defendant had gotten way too drunk, so they were arguing. The defendant threw pee on her and then pulled her wig off. So, we believe these were alcohol-fueled events, as well as you heard that history. He's got a history of drugs. He's got history out of Florida as recently here as October of 2025. And I believe his mother, someone was on the chat earlier for him and said that he's got to go back to Florida. He's got an open case there. So for those reasons, I do believe there's a flight risk. We want him to return to answer to these charges. So we're asking for that $2,000 total good bond, no further contact, and the stay away, as well as no alcohol or drugs while out on probation.
If Ms. Mojica is on the line and wishes to address the court, now is your opportunity to do so. Don't see Ms. Mojica, but I do know that Ms. Nixon is on the line. Ms. Nixon, if you would like to address the court, I need for you to come on camera for me.
Okay.
Ma'am, if you'll raise your right hand for me. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I need for you to take out the gum first for me.
Yeah, I will. I'm doing it now.
Okay, and just know that this is being recorded and it's on YouTube. So if you have anything that's of a sensitive nature in regards to your son, then this might not be the place to put it on the record. But I'm happy to hear from what you want to say.
Okay,
yes,
good
Ms.
evening. Good afternoon, Judge. I am his mom and I'm here in Miami. And my son was here in Miami. I brought him after his accident because of the incidents that, you know, was going on up there in Atlanta. And he was here. And Jenny, Miss Ohika, she came and she brought him back up there with her. He was like they mentioned he's supposed to be here. It's an old traffic case that he had, and he took a plea for it, and he was supposed to actually be here in Miami already, but Miss Mohito said she was going to bring him on Sunday. For some reason or another, that didn't happen, and then of course this incident took place. So at this point, they're grown. I can't tell them what to do, how to do. I don't condone on either part, his part or her part, what took place. I just know that with his brain, he was in an accident last May where he suffered from traumatic brain injury, where he now, of course, he has triggers and things of that nature. He can become aggressive. When situations or whatever take place, and therapy is what would help him to not subside but minimize them. And to my knowledge, he has not been attending therapy. So now he has nowhere to go. He's up there with her. She mentioned in the text that she wasn't trying to call the police or something. I don't know what happened, how it happened, but at
Well,
this
she's
point,
here. She's here, and she can tell us
okay,
that if she chooses to, Ms.
she's on the
Benson.
line. So
Okay, anything further?
yeah, so I'm just was trying to pick, as far as a bond, if it can be the lowest possible, because I canceled a flight for him before because he didn't come, and I don't have that kind of money. It's just me here. So I don't know how that can be worked out, but if he has to bond out, I'm trying to get it done so that he can make sure, because the judge has mandated that he has to be here, because we've been putting it off. And she said this time he has to be here in court in order for him, the plea to go into effect. They can't do it without him not being present.
Okay, thank you for being here. Ms. Mohika, I'm happy to hear what you have to say, but this is a court session, ma'am. We're gonna need for you to get something to cover your shoulders.
Hold on. Can you bring me a sweater? Yeah.
Okay, unmute yourself, ma'am. Raise your
Hello?
right hand raise your right hand for me. Do you swear affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
You can place your hand down. What would you like to tell the court?
About the incident, the officer said that he was gonna be charged with, what was this? She said he was gonna disorderly conduct. But online, I seen that they charged him with simple battery, and we was out for that 404, whatever this thing was. Robert does have a TBI, and he was drinking. So even after the first little incident, I was still going to pick him up, take him home and stuff. And I just felt like he got in the car. I'm like, just get in the front seat. Cause me and Robert have not had no issues, no incidents, no arguments or any of that. It was just, I don't know if it was because he had been drinking, and that's why I feel it came from. Because he has calmed down a lot. We don't argue. He doesn't, due to his TBI, he'll go off, but he hasn't been doing any of that. And I feel like due to him drinking, that's probably what happened.
Okay, thank you for being here, ma'am.
Mhm.
Yes, Mr. Coleman.
Your Honor, I'd be requesting a signature bond from Mr. Davis. He is 35 years of age. He's been here in Atlanta for the last year. Mr. Davis is a high school graduate. He's presently unemployed and living off of SSI. He's the father of one 14-year-old child. based on the representation from both his mother and girlfriend that he does suffer from a TBI, I would be requesting a signature bond on his behalf.
Okay, for each charge will be a $500 good bond, makes for a total of $1,000 good bond. No further violent contact with Ms. Mojica. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you all.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Be the same.
Next, number 15, Mr. Hernandez.
Good afternoon, Mr. Hernandez Espinosa. You have been charged in case 26CR002218C with 2 counts of battery, family violence, and cruelty to children in the 3rd degree. Is there a history, Ms. Hutcherson?
I show a total of 3 cycles. A 2015 was the last arrest, July of 2015, for possession of marijuana. That case was dismissed. And then a 2015 driving while license suspended or revoked conviction. And level 1 will be pretrial's recommendation and nothing further.
Thank you, Mr. Sirocco.
Yes, Your Honor. This was the April 4th incident, 2026, allegedly taking place at 3872 Fairhill Point in Milton. Victim's name is Estefania Tepete. She had been out with her boyfriend, she explains, who lives with her and has a child with her. And on their way home, she'd gone through the defendant's phone, found some things that upset her. They arrived home, and she started taking some of his belongings and putting them, grabbed some trash bags, excuse me, and put some of the defendant's belongings in them. Defendant came into the room and was arguing with her about the situation, and that escalated. The defendant, she stated, grabbed her by the arms and pushed her forcefully. She showed the officer causing her to fall over. So she had fallen onto the floor as a result of the defendant shoving her. And she showed the officer her left arm. There was a long, bright red mark running from her elbow to her wrist, another scratch mark on her arm as well. They did speak with the defendant. He did admit to pushing Ms. Tepete and that she fell on the ground. Also spoke with juvenile AT who was present, and this is the victim's daughter, and she had told the officer that her mother was upset about something. She heard them arguing, and when she went into Ms. Tepete's room and that's when she saw the defendant push her mom, causing her to fall on the ground, and she tried to get the defendant away from her. We did speak with the victim in this case, Your Honor. Ms. Tepete, she confirmed the events listed in the warrant and shared that she's been in a relationship with the defendant for 2 years, living together for 1 year, and they have a child together. The defendant is, she states, typically aggressive, but expressed that it's usually verbal hostility. He's been physical with her on 2 to 3 prior occasions. By grabbing her, quote, too hard. She does believe that anger management is needed. She states the defendant does own a firearm, and the reason she contacted police here is due to the matters becoming more frequent in the relationship. She had a child recently with the defendant, so for that reason, she wants to remain in contact with the defendant at this time. I believe she should be online. I know she at least indicated that she wanted to make a statement here. But in our danger assessment that we conducted, it was determined the victim was in increased danger. She indicated also that the defendant has beaten her while pregnant, and that the physical violence has become more frequent. We are, for those reasons, recommending a $5,000 surety out of the risk here posed to the victim's safety. We want to ensure that safety. We're recommending that $5,000 surety, the split being $2,000 on each battery, family violence, and $1,000 on the cruelty to children in the third. We are recommending FFIB based on her statements and the facts alleged here. No further contact with Estefania Tepete. This did appear to be from a jealous, what I can only assume is a jealous incident, but this is a recent incident, April 4th. There hasn't been a sufficient cooling off period here. No further contact with juvenile AT either. Third-party transport for any shared child, unless that is juvenile AT, in which case we would ask for no further violent contact. Stay away from 3872 Fairhill Point in Milton. No drugs, weapons, or alcohol while out on bond, and we would ask that he surrender that firearm to the sheriff's office, Your Honor. If we could sound from Ms. Tepete.
If Ms. Tepete is on the line and wishes to address the court, now is your opportunity. So, Ms. Kim.
Yes, Your Honor. My client, Mr. Fernandez Espinosa, is 31 years old. He has been here in Georgia ever since 1997. It's been almost like 28 years he's been here. Your Honor, they both reside in that location. They are both on the lease. My client has no objection to stay away or no contact. However, he strongly prefers to have a no further violent contact since they do have a child together. And Your Honor, they are not legally married, and my client is gainfully employed as a service electrician. He graduated from Milton High School very successfully. He has been going to school to be a master electrician for like the last 5 years, and also this is his first arrest. I would like to request for signature on bond, and that's it, Your Honor.
As far as bond is concerned today, Ms. Kim, can you clarify with him the initials of the shared child that they have? I'm wondering if whether it's this one that we're asking for the no further contact from or not.
The one that we share is 3 months old, and I have to go there and talk to the person that brings him.
3 months old. What's the initial? ZH.
Okay, so gotcha. So not the one, not AT. Thank you.
Okay, for each battery will be a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. For the cruelty, $1,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1 makes for a total of a $5,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. No further contact with the alleged victim. Stay away from the incident location. He can go back to that location on one occasion with law enforcement to retrieve any belongings, third-party transfer of any minor children, surrender all firearms, no drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
16.
Good afternoon, Mr. Honeycutt. You have been charged in case 26 CR 002226B with 2 counts of simple battery family violence. Is there a history, Ms. Hutcherson?
27 cycles. Last arrest was May of 2025 for failure to appear. Appears to be on probation for 2 separate cases. They're both aggravated assault cases. 22 SC 181 and 187 and 23 SC 191-115. He had an arrest out of Clayton County from October of 2024 for criminal damage to property. The case appears to be open. A 2024 conviction for battery. A 2017 conviction for criminal attempt to commit a felony and criminal trespass. A 2013 conviction for criminal trespass and simple battery family violence. A 2013 conviction for crossing state or county guidelines with weapons or drugs. And FTAs 2018 and 2017. Level 3 will be pretrial's recommendation, and nothing further to add.
Thank you, Mr. Sirocco.
Yes, Judge. To supplement slightly, I did see a 2025 FTA as well, and 2022 battery family violence conviction under 22 CR 001813J. Served a year for that. This incident here took place April 4th, 2026. This was at 2884 Concord Court, excuse me, in East Point. It's an apartment complex. Officers responded to a family dispute call, and they spoke with the victim upon arrival, Mr. Latrell Honeycutt Sr. It's the defendant's father. He explained he was hit by his son, the defendant, because he had approached him about being disrespectful towards his mother. Then he went to confront his son again and was pushed and slapped in the face. That's at which point the defendant then left the house on foot. This was corroborated by statements made from the mother in the house here, Miss Chiquita. Oh, excuse me, the defendant's friend here, Chiquita Dixon, and right with his history here, Your Honor. You've heard several aggravated assault convictions on which he's actively on probation. The one ending in 1115, that's specifically an aggravated assault, family violence. His probation did see there was, it may have been revoked, I believe it was, for failing to complete FFIB, comply with probation requirements, and I believe for that subsequent Clayton County arrest also. But several family violence cases, other violence cases, all these that I'm mentioning being convictions, in addition to his bevy of FTAs from 2018, 2017, 2013. On top of that, he's got a number of probation violations as well. We are recommending a $5,000 total cash bond here, that being $2,500 each. We're recommending FFIB if he does bond out. No further contact with Latrell Honeycutt Sr. Stay away from the apartment complex at 2884 Concord Court in East Point, and no drugs, weapons, or alcohol while out on bond.
Mr. Honeycutt Sr. is on the line and wishes to address the court. Now is your opportunity. Ms. Kim?
Yes, Your Honor. My client is, I heard something, Your Honor. My client is 32 years old, and he was born and raised here in Georgia. He has 3 minor children that he supports financially. After 9th grade, he has been working hard to provide financial support to his children and also his family members. He is planning to go back to get GED done. Your Honor, he has been working at temp services. However, he believes because of this incident, being arrested, he probably have lost his job, and he does not have any funds to pay for any kind of bond at this point. And it's gotta be his father who has to pay for the bond. And right now, there's some conflict here. We asked for a signature on bond. He does have a 2 probation that he has to resolve, and I think that will take quite a bit of time. He has a bit of issue price, so we would like to request for the lowest possible bond, maximum $1,000 surety bond. He says that his father was the one who was intoxicated at that time. Thank you.
For each charge will be $1,000 good bond, makes for a total of a $2,000 good bond. I want him to begin the family violence intervention program. No further contact with the alleged victim. Stay away from the incident location. He can go back to that location on one occasion with law enforcement to retrieve any belongings. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck.
Your Honor.
Mr. Vernon Parker. So.
Can I get that position number again, Your Honor?
25, Mr. Vernon Parker. Good afternoon, sir. You've been charged in case 26 CR 002246G with 2 counts of battery, family violence, and cruelty to children in the 3rd degree. Is there a history, Ms. Hutcherson?
I'm showing this as his first arrest.
Thank you. Mr. Sirocco?
Yes, Your Honor. This was June 8th incident, 2025 at 3280 Drexel Lane, apartment 5 in East Point. Officers responded to a domestic fight call there, and they made contact with the victim, Ms. Tanaya Colquitt. She is the defendant's, or at the time at least, was the defendant's domestic partner. They lived together and are the parents of a singular boy. The two were inside the kitchen in the residence, and there was a verbal altercation with the victim over unwashed dishes. Those had been left in the sink, and when she refused to immediately comply with the defendant's demands that she wash those dishes, defendant struck her twice in the face and upper body area with a closed fist, then forcibly shoved her in back against the sink. And this resulted in visible red abrasions to her cheek, the left side of her neck, the top of her left shoulder, the back of her left shoulder. And this all took place in front of the victim's 15-year-old sister, juvenile MC, whom the defendant knew was present there. And we have spoken with Ms. Colquitt. She's expressed to us that she doesn't want the state to proceed with the charges. They are the state's charges, though. We will be proceeding at this time. She believes the matter has been resolved since the dispute. However, she does state that anger management would be a helpful tool for the defendant. She shared that they have broken up since, but they still have frequent relations as they share a child. And she assists with his two older children. She states she doesn't feel in fear of him and does want to remain in contact. In her estimation, the dispute was not serious. We disagree, but the victim shared that they do typically have verbal and emotional arguments that usually don't escalate to violence, and they were, yeah, she does, I believe, want to make a statement here today. I believe I saw her online if the court sound for her when appropriate. We are recommending we'd be fine with a signature bond. However, we would be asking for FIP here. Given what I'm reading here, what I'm hearing, we want to ensure her safety. And if they're going to be around each other in any capacity, we want them to be undergoing some the Family Violence Intervention Program, Judge. So we find with a signature bond through pretrial, no further violent contact with Ms. Colquitt, along with FIB, no further violent contact with juvenile MC, no drugs, weapons, or alcohol while out on bond. If we could sound for
Ms. Colquitt, if you would like to address the court, now is your opportunity. I'll need for you to unmute yourself, come on camera for me, and I'll swear you in if you choose to address the court this afternoon.
I have about 120 seconds because I'm at work and I actually work
Well, you have to
I
come on
actually work in the
camera.
hospital with patients. I'm not able to
Okay.
tell you everything.
Well, you can come on. You need to come on camera for me.
Okay.
Okay, can you raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. What would you like to tell the court?
That he said 2 strikes to the face. That's false. It was not 2. The fist was not bald. That's not why I got on here. I got on here to say that he's right. I do not want to proceed with any prosecution or any of the charges because it's not that deep. Things happen. People make mistakes, and he's not a bad person. He does not deserve to be there for something that could have been resolved a different way.
Thank you for being here this afternoon, ma'am.
Thank you. I have to go. Sorry.
Ms. Kim?
Yes, we have no objection to signature on bond for pretrial letter 1 and also no further violent contact, Your Honor.
For each battery charge will be a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. For the cruelty, a $1,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1 makes for a total of a $5,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. No further violent contact with the alleged victim, no drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, sir.
Quick question. Let's move on. Mr. Lorenzo Henderson. Were y'all accusing that case?
Renzo Henderson, Mr. Sirocco, do you have any information about that case?
Not that I can recall. I'll take a look. Do we
Yeah,
have a booking number for him?
Yeah, we send the information over to y'all to verify that we was wondering if y'all was gonna accuse the charge because it's mixed up with his felony charges. It's like that was a misdemeanor, it's supposed to follow his felony charge. His booking number is 2605828.
I interpreted that message to mean that they needed to go with his felony charges.
That's correct.
Okay, so yes, so we would not have accused that.
But okay. I just want to know the Superior Court knows that because he came up on our pool sheet.
Okay, I'll reach out to them. I will make sure they know.
Thank you. Who do we have next?
Number 13, Mr. Gates. Because it was.
Good afternoon, Mr. Gates. You have been charged in case 26 CR 002235G with battery family violence. Is there a history?
One prior arrest from the offense date was from 2024. I believe the arrest was in 2025. Give me 1 second. I'm trying to pull it back up. And that case number is 25 PI 007554, and that was for aggravated battery. And level 2 will be pretrial recommendation.
Thank you. Ms. Tucker?
Yes, Judge, we're asking for a $2,500 cash bond. If you're not inclined to give a cash only bond, then no less than $5,000 good bond with conditions no further contact with Kymaria Chandler, as well as to stay away from 1925 Waycrest Drive in South Fulton. The facts allege that the mother of the victim actually called the police because the victim called her and said, "You need to call the police." She didn't feel comfortable calling the police herself. She said the defendant choked her and pushed her while she was in the shower, leaving a knot on the back of her head from where her head hit, and then she had visible red marks around her neck and her chest. We were able to speak with her. She said they are dating. They have a 4-month-old child, and she confirmed all of the facts in the warrant. She, yes, wants no further contact, wants him to stay away. So we're asking, based on, his history, an aggravated battery that's open, and then the facts alleged in these cases, we're asking for that $2,500 cash bond. If not cash, then $5,000 good bond with no further contact and to stay away.
Thank you. Ms. Chandler, I see you on the line. If you would like to address the court, now is your opportunity. You certainly don't have to, but if you would like to, I'll need for you to unmute yourself, activate your camera, and I'll swear you in. Does not appear that she wishes to address the court. Mr. Coleman?
Your Honor, I'll be requesting a signature bond from Mr. Gates. He is 24 years of age, a lifetime resident of Atlanta, Fulton County. Mr. Gates is a high school graduate. He is currently employed at AmeriCode as a forklift operator for the last year. He is the father of one 4-month-old child. Reading the police report, it appears that the complaining witness in this case had a knife at the time. Given that he only has one cycle, I don't believe that case is a conviction. I will be requesting a signature bond or in lieu of that, a low bond for Mr. Gates.
Okay, we'll be at 3,000. Well, Miss Chandler, I have I see that you're here. If you want to address the court, you need to come on camera for me and unmute yourself. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. If you'd like to address the court, I need for you to raise your right hand. Raise your right hand for me. I believe it's the other hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. You can place your hand down. What would you like to tell the court?
I just wanted to say that we have a 4-month-old, so in terms of contact, I'm willing for contact dealing with my child. Um, I don't I don't think there's any contact that needs to be between us. Um, we do stay together and I'm willing to leave, but it will take me a minute to be able to leave. So I just wanted to add that in.
Okay, well, there'll have to be third-party transfer of the minor child for visitation. I'm gonna order that he not, that you, the two of you not have any contact in the meantime, but I appreciate you being here, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Yes, it will be a $3,000 good bond, no further contact with the alleged victim, stay away from the incident location. He can go back to that location on one occasion with law enforcement to retrieve any belongings, no drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
19, Mr. Lloyd.
Good afternoon, Mr. Loyal. You have been charged in case 26 CR 002229A with simple battery. Is there a history?
First arrest.
Thank you, Mr. Soraka.
Your Honor, this incident took place April 4th, 2026, 4487 Greenleaf Circle, Southwest in Atlanta. Officers responded to a dispute call there and made contact with the defendant as well as Miss Tamara Loyal and the victim, juvenile MC, or ML, excuse me, the defendant's 13-year-old sister. Once they explained that the juvenile MC explained to officers that the defendant had kicked her in the chest, and this was following a verbal altercation that escalated when the defendant physically attacked her. And Miss Tamara advised the same. I'm seeing the state's recommendation. We haven't spoken with the victim in this case, the victim's mother in this case yet. Out of an abundance of caution. Oh, you're here? Okay, great. If we could, we'd love to hear from you very briefly. We're recommending signature bond through pretrial, as well as some anger management, 2 days of anger awareness classes. And I would leave the no further contact versus no further violent contact, stay away versus not stay away, up to the court, depending on what they choose to voice here. No drugs, weapons, or alcohol while out on bond.
Yes, Ms. Tamara, if you'd like to address the court, I need for you to raise your right hand for me. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. You can place your hand down. What would you like to tell the court?
Well, we all live together. So they're in my eyes, they're my kids. They still can have contact. It was just a situation where she was being disrespectful and he told her he was going to take her electronics, and she said she made a threat towards him. That's not nothing that he does. He loves his siblings. Just like she's right here. This is the 13-year-old. Take your mask off. Girl, come on, because they got stuff to do. You want to say something?
Yes.
You got to look at the judge.
No. Miss Tamara, that's fine. I don't need to hear from you from your minor child. Okay.
My kids have,
So
and
have they had any problems in the past?
no.
And how old is Miguel?
Miguel is 21. He's about to be 22. His
Okay.
therapy, Kelly, is online too.
Okay, and you do want him back in the household? Is that where he lives?
Yes, he have nowhere else to go.
Okay.
Yes, but We will work on him getting his own place. Me and him already talked about that.
Okay.
In the meantime, ma'am, do you think he could use any sort of anger management or anger awareness?
I mean, yes, if that's what the court ordered, but that's fine. But Mr. Jerome Kelly is online. That is his therapist. I think he was online earlier. He still should be online. I guess you all have to call his name or say something if you want him to come on video.
Okay, so you're telling us that he is in active therapy at the present time.
Yes.
Okay, how often does he go?
Mr. Kelly come out. Mr. Kelly come out to see him maybe 2-3 times a week, or when needed, they go out, and do little things among themselves, as well as we all do
Sure.
family therapists too.
We would like to keep.
Okay, I understand, Miss Kim. Thank you, Miss Tamira. I appreciate you being here.
Oh, you hear that, baby?
Okay. Yes, Miss Kim.
Yes, no objection to signature on bond and no further violent contact, Your Honor. And as long as anger management is not paid by my client, I don't have any objection, but if he has to pay for it, he's not employed at this point, so it's gonna be really hard.
No, we only receive Social Security.
I'm just gonna have him continue the therapy that he's already getting, Miss Kim. So it's gonna be $1,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. No further violent contact with the alleged victim. Continue the therapy that he's presently receiving. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you all. Yes, ma'am.
I just have one more question. Do you all know like wait time so I could be down there to meet him so he can have a way home?
Okay, Miss Kim will keep in touch with you, or you can call the jail when you can call the jail to see when he's been released, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
I love you, Miguel.
Love y'all.
Love you too, say. All right. Oh, look at him. Oh, he got the jailhouse here.
Okay, who do we have next?
22, Mr. Pounds.
Good afternoon, Mr. Pounds. You've been charged in case 26 CR 002223D with 4 counts of willful obstruction of law enforcement officers, criminal trespass, escape, and disorderly conduct. Is there a history?
I show a total of 15 cycles, FTAs from 2024 and 2023. Last arrest from November of 2025 for theft by shoplifting. That case appears open. A 2024 battery conviction, and then an open criminal trespass from 2025. And nothing further.
Yeah, Mr. Sirocco?
Judge, give me 1 second.
I was about to say.
I think I'm on the wrong criminal history.
Yeah.
Did you say pounds or rolling?
It's pounds.
Okay. Scratch everything I just said. His criminal history is as follows. 14 cycles. Last arrest was from September of 2025 for aggravated stalking out of DeKalb County. Appears to have an open case out of DeKalb. Another open case for family violence battery, for violation of a family violence order and criminal trespass. 3 FTAs, 1 in 2025 and 2 in 2024. And then a disorderly conduct conviction from 2025 and a driving without a valid license conviction in 2024. And nothing further.
Mrs.
Yes, Your Honor, I also saw simple battery Nolo 2018, and I did see there was a 2023 battery toucher strike case out of Florida that was ultimately dismissed, but you've heard his history here. The incident here took place April 4th. This is at 232 Forsyth Street in Atlanta, the Greyhound bus station location. At least that's where it started out. The defendant was asked by a security guard if he had a bus ticket. He wasn't able to produce one, and at that point was asked to leave the Greyhound location. He refused, despite multiple requests that he leave by the security guard. There was and officers came on scene and were trying to get him off the property. He jerked away from the officers multiple times while they were trying to place him under arrest here. Refused to put his hands behind his back, stating he was not going to jail. Also, stating to one of the officers that he would beat his ASS multiple times. A defendant went on to state if the officer touched him during arrest, he was going to punch the officer into the face. They did manage to place him in handcuffs, and subsequent to that, the defendant was broke away from officers and fled on scene into the Garnett train station, the adjacent Garnett train station, before he was ultimately captured here. He refused to identify himself following that. This was at Grady Hospital. They were trying to use the fingerprint scanner to identify him. He jerked his hand away, balled it into a fist, and refused to have his fingerprint scanned, stating, "I'm going to make you work for it." The defendant clearly has a lot going on here. There's a lot of recent history, violence, a lot of concerning stuff, and several open cases concerns well, in addition to the FTAs from 2025 from 2024. Bond is currently set at a $35,000 total surety. We'll be fine with an $8,000 surety in this case, Judge. We're recommending $3,000 on the escape, $1,000 on the criminal trespass and disorderly conduct each, and $750 on each obstruction charge for, again, a total of $8,000. We would recommend a social worker visit for BHET here. No violent contact with law enforcement, and no drugs, weapons, or alcohol while out on bond.
Thank you, Ms. Kim.
Your Honor, my client, Mr. Pounds, is actually 26 years young. He was born in Michigan. However, he came to Georgia when he was very young. He graduated from high school 2018. He has an associate degree for software engineering. Your Honor, my client was simply walking sideways. He had a Greyhound ticket. He had little reason to be there. It was not a criminal trespass. And my client was, I really feel, whenever I see a case like this, I feel really sorry for my clients who are big, may look like kind of aggressive, but he was not. He was just walking along the street for his Greyhound ticket that he takes to go to South Carolina for his job to be a truck driver. Your Honor, we deny the allegation. The reason that he was jerking off, he was tased 6 times. So his body was like probably moving around by shock that he got. The officers was really not nice to him. The first reason that he was arrested is really nothing other than just walking around him. And I don't think that caused any probable cause for any officers to arrest him. That's why things got escalated from that simple incident. This escape charge is like he was just chopped up and then handcuffed. Government property was on him when he was tased, so he kind of moves around. I mean, it's a and then they come up with these really bizarre charge, and that doesn't sound right, Your Honor. I asked for a signature on bond. If Your Honor is not inclined to give him a signature on bond because of the actually DeKalb County, his case was completely dismissed. It was case with his brother, nothing. He actually filed a civil lawsuit against the DeKalb County for mistreatment. I hope he wins. And we asked for signature on bond or the lowest possible surety bond, Your Honor. Unlawful arrest is something that he is not actually fleeing from or escaping from, Your Honor. Thank you.
And for each obstruction will be a $250 good bond. For each of the other charges will be a $500 good bond. That makes for a total of a $2,500 good bond. I want him to have a social worker visit to assess for BHET and possible housing. Stay away from the Greyhound bus station unless he has a valid ticket. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond.
Your Honor, can he have a sheriff's 10%?
That's fine with the court, Ms. Kim.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Good afternoon, Officer Milton.
ACDC is ready with position 3.
Yes, good afternoon to everyone there that's at ACDC. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the State Court Expedited Accusation Calendar. You have a right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you. You have a right to have an attorney present at these proceedings. Where if you do not have a private attorney, we're providing you with the assistance of a public defender this afternoon if you choose to utilize their service. Ms. Brock, you have been charged in case 26 CR 002244Y with criminal trespass. Is there a history, Ms. Hutcherson?
I show a total of 23 cycles. Last arrest, August of 2024 out of Bartow County for a probation violation. Appears to be on probation for 2 counts of theft by shoplifting. Disposition was from 2017. A 2017 FTA, a 2017 theft by taking conviction, a 2016 conviction for possession of meth, possession of marijuana, and battery against a person 65 years age or older. And then theft by shoplifting convictions 2016 and 2 in 2010. And nothing further.
Thank you. Ms. Taco?
Yes, Judge. Was that? I had 24 total arrests. Or did you say 23?
Yes, I said 23.
Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, that's the same criminal history. So yes, you did hear the criminal history. We're asking for a $1,000 good bond in this case with a stay away from 599 Main Street in Palmetto and to have no further contact with victim Gregory Rush. The facts allege that this defendant was staying at this home that had been broken into with co-defendant Antonio Araujo. He's being held on felony burglary charges. She believed at first that they had permission to be there, but then she realized they were not, and she still remained there with him. I know Mr. Rush is on the line. He's been very patient, waiting to be heard. So I will let him, we did speak with him ahead of time, but I'll let him share his thoughts.
Okay, Mr. Rush, good afternoon. If you'd
Good
like
afternoon.
if you'd like to address the court, do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Okay, you can place your hand down. Thank you, sir. What would you like to tell the court?
I'd just like to say that they had broken in through the cellar and they were staying there quite a long time. There's receipts there from Dollar Tree. They also damaged the property. They stole the heating and air system in the basement. They tore it apart and just probably sold it off for parts or for metal, which is a huge expense to replace. It's probably going to cost me $20,000 to $30,000 depending on the damage. I don't live in state, but my neighbors are good neighbors and they called me about it. And I'd like to prosecute to the fullest degree.
Okay, so you don't know Miss Brock.
I do not. I don't know where they thought they would get permission. The house is being sold to the city of Palmetto, and we're closing the end of the month. And so I don't know why they thought they could enter and squat and whatever else they did. I do have some pictures of today that a city council person took pictures of the heating unit downstairs and some other pictures of squatting if you need that to be presented to the court.
Only a bond hearing today, sir, but I'm sure that you can stay in touch with the solicitor's office and they'll take whatever you wish to give them as far as that's concerned. Thank you for being here this afternoon, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, Mr. Coleman.
Your Honor, be requesting a signature bond for Ms. Brock. She is 49 years of age. She's lived here in Atlanta for the last 4 years. Ms. Brock went as far as the 12th grade. She is presently unemployed, therefore she has no money to post for bond. Ms. Brock is denying these allegations. And again, we'd be requesting a signature bond. This is a nonviolent offense.
Pretrial, what was your recommendation?
Pre-trial's recommendation, give me 1 second to go back. Level 2, level 3, sorry.
It's going to be $1,000 good bond. No further contact with Mr. Rush. Stay away from the incident location. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Ms. Brock. You as well, Mr. Rush.
All right, 24, Mr. Smith is next.
Good afternoon, Mr. Smith. You have been charged in case 26 CR 002248C with simple battery family violence. Is there a history, Ms. Hutcherson?
Yes. I showed a total of 11 cycles, 2 out of Hawaii and 9 out of Tennessee. The last arrest was from January of 2023 out of Hawaii for family abuse, but there was no disposition. And I did not see any dispositions on any of the Tennessee charges. And UJR was pre-trial's recommendation, jail.
Thank you. Mr. Sirocco?
Yes, Your Honor, this incident took place just April 4th, 2026. This was at 411 Edgewood Avenue in Atlanta. Officers were all behaving aggressively. The defendant's domestic partner who lives with him, he saw the defendant grab Ms. Sales by the back of the neck and her arm, and the officer then spoke with Ms. Sales, who explained the defendant was attempting to force her into a vehicle by grabbing her and holding her by the back of the neck. She stated she moved around the vehicle and the defendant followed her. Officer spoke with the defendant as well, who said they'd gone out for a few drinks and that it was time to leave. And when he came back from getting the vehicle, he saw her speaking with 2 men. He instructed her to get in the vehicle at that time, and he did admit to grabbing her by the arm, stating it was an attempt to place her inside, and claimed that she was intoxicated here. I did see a 2014 domestic assault arrest out of Tennessee that was ultimately dismissed, and then an aggravated assault, strangulation, aggravated burglary, theft, and vandalism case out of Tennessee from 2013 that was dismissed. The state's recommendation here, we have not been able to speak with Ms. Sales. Out of abundance of caution, we are recommending a $2,000 surety on this, 2 days anger awareness, certainly no further contact, in that there hasn't been a sufficient cooling off period here. And we're concerned where this could have led to if that third party hadn't intervened, Judge. Stay away from the victim's residence. I'm not sure what the location of that would be to provide to the court. We would ask that no further contact with the victim and stay away from her residence, wherever she resides, as well as no drugs, weapons, or alcohol while out on bond.
Sales is on the line and wishes to address the court. Now is your opportunity. Doesn't appear so. Ms. Kim?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Smith is 41 years old, and Your Honor, he has no objection to stay away and no contact with alleged victim. He was recommended for UJR jail. We asked for a signature on bond through pretrial. No one called the police, Your Honor. They were dating in the past, but they have not lived together, and they don't have any child together either. After graduating from high school, after 12th grade, he got GED in 2001, and then ever since then, he has been a stay-home dad. Actually, ever since COVID, before that he used to work at warehouse, but he was laid off, and then after that, he is residing with 7 children, and 2 are very, very young. So, Your Honor, we asked for signature on by through pretrial, and that's it, Your Honor.
Okay, will be a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. No further contact with the alleged victim. Stay away from her residential location. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Mr. Smith.
Next is position 4, Miss Brown.
Good afternoon, Ms. Brown. You have been charged in case 26 CR 002245L with theft by shoplifting. Is there a history, Ms. Hutcherson?
Yes, 5 cycles. Last arrest was from December of 2025 for failure to appear and appears to be on probation for aggravated assault. 24 SC 005273, and that's the first offender, and nothing further.
Thank you. Ms. Tucker?
Yes, Judge, we're asking for a $2,500 good bond in this case with a stay away from the Walmart at 844 Cleveland Avenue in East Point. You did hear she just had the FTA from December. That's from the felony case, as well as the 2 other charges. They were in 2022 and 2013, but they were also theft by shopliftings. The facts in this case, she used a blanket to conceal some of the items in her shopping cart. She went to self-checkout and paid for some items, but not the concealed items, and then attempted to leave the store without paying for them. So despite any violence based on the FTA, the risk of flight, as well as the risk of reoffense, we are asking for that $2,500 good bond, as well as to stay away from this Walmart.
Thank you. Mr. Coleman?
Yeah, I'd be requesting a signature bond or in lieu of that, a low bond for Ms. Brown. She is 33 years of age. Ms. Brown is a high school graduate. She presently works as a certified nursing assistant. Again, I'd be requesting a signature bond or in lieu of that, a low bond for Ms. Brown. She does not have a very long criminal history.
Be a $5,000 signature bond through pretrial level 2. Stay away from the Walmart on Cleveland Avenue. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Your Honor.
It's got 26 Miss Wallen.
And that's 26, is that correct?
Correct.
Yes. Good afternoon, Mr. Viswanathan. You've been charged in case 26 CR 002228Y with driving under the influence of drugs, improper erratic lane change, and driving within a gore. Is there a history, Ms. Hutcherson?
I am showing 2 cycles. Both of the cycles were from April of 2024. One is for battery family violence out of Forsyth. The other one is for kidnapping and tampering with evidence, also out of Forsyth. Those cases appear to be open. There is no disposition for either one listed, and nothing further.
Sirocco?
Yes, Judge. Additionally, we did pull his driving history. We saw failure to obey signs or traffic control devices conviction 2016, speeding conviction 2019. The incident here took place April 4th. This is at State Bridge Road near Aberley Lane, Johns Creek. The officer here observed a vehicle in front of his patrol vehicle. And while watching that vehicle, the vehicle in front which was a white Mercedes, failed to maintain its lane and crossed over the gore. It was both sides of his both left both tires on the left side, crossing over the gore, separating the eastbound and westbound traffic along that road, before ultimately returning to its lane. Officer initiated a traffic stop and made contact with the driver, the defendant in this case. Officer spoke with him briefly, and in the course of that conversation inquired whether he'd taken any medications. The defendant stated he had, and he'd taken duloxetine, and that was that morning, and then had taken trazodone, excuse me, to help him sleep that afternoon, between 3 and 4 p.m. He was prescribed 50 milligrams, but he had spoken to his doctor to get that prescription increased to 100 milligrams because the dosage wasn't working properly in his estimation. He hadn't picked up the new medication, the new prescription yet. He had only switched from a different medication within the past couple of weeks. But he admitted to the officer that he would self-medicate when he felt like the correct dosage of trazodone wasn't enough or did not have the desired effects. This evening, instead of only taking prescribed 50 milligram dose, he had ended up taking 150 milligrams of trazodone. While speaking with him, the officer noticed that he had bloodshot, watery eyes. The defendant complained of having dry mouth and needing water. And the officer also observed that he was profusely sweating from his forehead while speaking with him. He did submit to SFSTs in this case, and on the HGN, the officer observed 2 out of 6 clues. On the walk and turn, 7 out of 8 clues, and on the one-legged stand, 2 out of 4 clues of impairment during the evaluation. He did submit to a blood test here. We don't have the results of that yet, Judge. Those will be forthcoming, but the blood test was done, so hopefully those results should be in GBI soon. The defendant was arrested there. The state's recommendation, given that this is a public safety case, this is a DUI, less safe drugs at this time. Whether further accusations will be forthcoming depends on what we receive. But we're recommending a $3,500 total surety here, $2,500 on the DUI, and $500 on each the improper or erratic lane change and the crossing of the gore. Each no drugs, weapons, or alcohol while out on bond.
Ms. Kim?
Yes, Your Honor. My client is actually 45 years old, and he came to Georgia about 15 years ago from India. He graduated from high school in 1998. After that, he went to college, and he also went to master's. He has a master's degree for computer application. Your Honor, currently he is employed gainfully. He manages pharmaceutical operation. Their IT. My client, Your Honor, there was no alcohol involved, first of all, and the drugs that he was taking were all prescribed medicine that he had to have for his condition, medical condition, Your Honor. And I believe that his blood test will come out clean. He is a father of 2 minor children, and we would like to request for a signature on bond. Your Honor, it clearly says, the warrant says, he may have a little bit swerve that happens. All the drivers, we cannot always drive perfectly. Sometimes things happen. He may kind of like swerve, but there was no accident involved. He came back to his lane. The vehicle then returned to his lane safely. And even that is kind of like minor traffic violence. And Your Honor, anybody who gets nervous, stopped by police, gets really nervous, and he had a kind of like heart beating really high. Maybe that's why he was worried. Things can happen, Your Honor. I would like to request for a signature on that.
DUI will be a $2,000 good bond. For each of the other charges will be a $250 good bond, makes for a total of a $2,500 good bond. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, sir.
Your Honor, instead of, he can go through the, bonding company. I was wondering if we can ask for $250 cash bond, so he can pay the cash directly to the, the jail, sheriff's 10% program.
So what you're requesting is for the DUI, a $2,000 good bond with the 10%, and for the other two charges, a $250 cash bond.
No, Your Honor, 200 total is right now $2,500 surety bond. Instead of that, we would like to have $250 cash bond. So $25 cash, $25 cash, and $200 cash.
Gonna let the bond stay as it is, Ms. Kim, as I've articulated. 2,000 good, 250 for each of the other charges, total $2,500 good bond.
And then sheriff's 10% then, Your Honor?
That's fine with the court.
That's good.
Next is position 11, Miss Dumas.
Good afternoon, Mr. Moss. You've been charged in case 26 CR 002243F with simple battery family violence. Is there a history?
No, first arrest.
Thank you. Ms. Tucker?
Yes, Judge, the state's okay with the $2,500 signature bond through pretrial level 1 with conditions no further contact with Greg. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. It's MGBAM. As well as to stay away from 2265 Marietta Boulevard in Atlanta. These facts allege that the defendant searched the victim, Greg's phone, and found something she didn't like, so she confronted him. First, she threw the phone towards him, striking the wall, started yelling at him, and hitting him in the face. She also attempted to throw his PlayStation over the balcony, but he grabbed it in time. We have not been able to get in contact with him, so just to be sure, we are asking for that no further contact and to stay away from this location. But considering no history, we are fine with a $2,500 signature bond through level 1.
Mr. McBain is on the line and wishes to address the court. Now is your opportunity. Mr. Coleman?
Your Honor, no objection to the signature bond.
Okay, as such, it will be a $2,500 signature bond through pretrial level 1. No further contact with the alleged victim. Stay away from the incident location. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yes,
Welcome.
Mr. Wells.
Good afternoon, Mr. Wells. You have been charged in case 26 CR 002238E with criminal trespass. Is there a history?
I show a total of 12 cycles. Last arrest November of 2025 for criminal trespass out of Chambly. That case appears to be open. There was no disposition. A 2024 FTA, and then another 2024 FTA. A 2023 conviction for unlawful conduct during 911 call. A 2024 conviction for criminal trespass. Another 2024 conviction for criminal trespass, and then a 2015 robbery. That was a first offender. And I believe it was sealed in 2022. And nothing further.
Thank you. Mr. Sirocco?
Yes, Your Honor, this incident here took place April 4th, 2026. Location is 38 Peachtree Center Avenue, Southeast in Atlanta. That is the Langdale Hall, which is the property of Georgia State University. Officers were dispatched there in reference to a male prying doors open to the building. They conducted a security check and found the defendant inside a bathroom there. He said he came inside the building to use the bathroom And it was revealed when they ran a check of the defendant that he had an active criminal trespass warning, banning him from entering any Georgia State University property. He was arrested at that point with his several recent convictions, including 2 for criminal trespass, a presumably open case at a DeKalb from just last November, and the FTAs from 2024. We are recommending that the $2,000 surety that was set by the magistrate remain in place. We are recommending also a social worker visit for BH and housing. Stay away from all GSU property in accordance with the ban, excuse me, not the permanent ban. It expires March 31st, 2028. We'd ask that he remain in compliance with that. And no drugs, weapons, or alcohol while out on bond.
Thank you, Ms. Kim.
Yes, Your Honor, we have no objection to social worker visa for housing and PHET. Indeed, our social worker is waiting for him, waiting to interview him, Your Honor. He is 32 years old and he has been here in Georgia for the last 30 years. His parents are here. He does not have any children. He has siblings here in Georgia. He graduated from high school 2012 and he went to Georgia Perimeter College and Georgia Piedmont College for certification for graphic design. However, he lost his job and he had a gunshot that kind of caused a lot of difficult challenges physically and psychologically. So we would like to request for the lowest possible bond. If he's not entitled to get signature on bond, we ask for like $5 cash bond. Even that he may not be able to pay.
Okay, it will be a $50 cash bond, social worker visit to assess for BHET and housing. Stay away from all GSU property, no drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Good luck to you, Mr. Wells.
Next is position 12, Miss Finley.
Good afternoon, Ms. Finley. You've been charged in case 26CR002237Y with battery, family violence, willful obstruction of law enforcement officers, and cruelty to children in the 3rd degree. Is there a history?
I show a total of 3 cycles, a 2019 disorderly conduct conviction, a 2018 possession of burglary tools, possession of drug paraphernalia, and stealing. And then the last arrest was from 2021 out of Riverdale for a probation violation. And nothing further to add.
Thank you. Ms. Tucker?
Yes, Judge. We're asking for a $2,000 good bond on the battery, family violence, a $1,000 good bond on the obstruction, and a $1,500 good bond on the cruelty to children in the 3rd, totaling $4,500 with conditions no further contact with Quantiva Brown or juvenile Patton Brown, as well as to stay away from 6462 Deccan Drive in South Fulton. So in this case, the mother of the juvenile, who I'm now going to refer to as PB, he called her. He was at this location for a birthday party. So this location is owned by his father, and the father's girlfriend is the defendant. So he was over there for a birthday party. Apparently, they were all being too loud, and this defendant pepper sprayed everyone. So the victim, the minor, called his mom and said, "Please come get me. I just got pepper sprayed. I'm miserable." So the mother called 911. When they got there, they spoke with everyone. They spoke with the juvenile, who said that he also saw this defendant punch the victim, his father, in the face, and he had swelling, lacerations on his face and his arms. So all of this was very traumatic for this young man, as well as there's visible injuries on his father. So this is a very violent incident. So we are asking, we were not able to get in touch with Quantiva Brown, the father, but we did speak with the mother of the juvenile PB. So we are asking.
I'm actually the father. My name Quantavia Brown. I'm online.
Okay.
Hold on, Mr. Brown. We'll be with you. I need for you to come on camera for me when you can. So
Okay,
go-
well, we can
go ahead,
hear
Mr.
from him in a second. I was just gonna wrap up and say that we're asking for that total $4,500 good bond with conditions. 4,500, yes, with conditions, no further contact and to stay away.
Now, Mr. Brown, if you'd like to address the court, I'll need for you to go ahead and unmute yourself. You able to unmute yourself there for me, sir?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. If you can raise your right hand for me. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay, you can place your hand down. What would you like to tell the court?
Well, me and Miss Finley, we actually we live together, and also no child was ever pepper sprayed. So that's what I'm just trying to figure out, whether the child was being pepper sprayed and she also didn't even punch me either. So I mean, they didn't even let me get my side of the story once the police came. They never did give me a chance to like give my side of the story. So they asked my son. It was basically I was like giving his side of the story. But my son, he's only 8 years old. So, but he's aware of, what's going on, like his surroundings, but he really wasn't, because it was dark outside.
How long have y'all lived together?
For the past probably like months, 4 or 5 months.
Okay, and has anything like this ever happened before?
No.
All right, anything further, Mr. Brown?
No, sir.
All right, thank you for being here. Mr. Coleman?
Yeah, I'll be requesting signature bond for Miss Finley. She is 26 years of age. She's lived here in Atlanta for the last 7 years. Miss Finley is a high school graduate, currently employed at Garden Food Services for the last year. She is the mother of 3 young children, ages 2, 3, and 8. According to the complaining witness, he was never struck by Miss Finley. Also, given the fact that she only has 3 cycles in her history, last arrest being 5 years ago, I'll be requesting a signature bond.
Okay, for the battery will be a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. For each of the other charges, $1,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. Makes for a total of a $4,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. No further violent contact with the alleged victims. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you both.
His mother is on the line. Can I say something? Peyton Brown's mother is on the line.
Yes, ma'am. If you raise your right hand, do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay, you can place your hand down. Yes, ma'am.
They have not been staying together over 5 months. We actually just broke up, and he actually just moved out of my place in mid-January, towards the end of January. So they actually just recently started dating because we've been living together for over over the years since I had my son. So this is a recent relationship that he just started, that they just moved in together. They just moved into that address no longer than a week ago, from my understanding. And my son was not the only child there. She has 3 other kids, and he also told me that his cousin also was there as well, along with his sister, my son's father's sister, Misha Brown. She was also there too. His aunt was actually the one that told me that Miss Finley pepper sprayed everyone. I guess her and Quantavia got into it. I was told that he got punched dead in the chest and struck in the head, and to the point that my son thought that he was going to die. And as far as the pepper spray, my son said it wasn't directly, but she was spraying it as if it was like air freshener to get everybody away.
Thank you for being here this afternoon, Ms. Peterson. You'll have your opportunity to litigate this matter as we go forward. Have a good afternoon, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Who do we have next?
28, Mr. Whitrack.
Good afternoon, Mr. Whitrack. You've been charged in case 26 CR 002242J with theft by shoplifting and willful obstruction of law enforcement officers. Is there a history, Ms. Hutcherson?
I shot 29 cycles, with the last arrest being December of 25 for a probation violation. Appears to have an open case out of the cab for terroristic threats, willful obstruction, and theft by shoplifting. That arrest was from August of 2025. A conviction from 2018 for purchase, possession, manufacture, distribution, or sale of marijuana and willful obstruction of a law enforcement officer. And then 2015 conviction for criminal trespass. And I have nothing further to add. Level 3 was pretrial's recommendation.
Thank you. Mr. Sirocco?
Yes, Your Honor. This incident here took place April 5th, 2026, 4215 Fulton Industrial Boulevard Southwest in Atlanta. Officer was flagged down by a liquor store manager at the location. The liquor store is Flags Liquor Store. And he explained that there was an individual wearing a gray hoodie standing outside at the MARTA stop that had stolen from his store. Made contact, the officer did, with the individual and asked him to identify himself. He refused. He was ultimately detained and was searched. The store manager explained the defendant had stolen a bag of chips from the shop, $1.50. But it was him who'd been stealing from the store for a long time. He wanted to press charges on the defendant. And when asked to identify himself subsequent to that, he again refused. They ultimately had to use a fingerprint scanner to identify him here. With his history here, he's got looks like that open terroristic threats and acts and shoplifting from January of this year. And his priors, we are recommending $1,000 total surety, $500 each social worker visit for housing, BHET. Stay away from Flags Liquor Store at 4215 Fulton Industrial. And no drugs, weapons, or alcohol while out on bond, Judge.
Thank you. Ms. Kim?
Yes, Your Honor. My client is 39 years old, and Your Honor, he was born and raised. He was actually born in Louisiana, but however, I apologize. However, he has been here in Georgia for more than 33 years. And Your Honor, he has been struggling with homelessness lately, but he is trying to get a job at construction industry. However, it has been very, very hard. After 10th grade, he could not pursue any higher education yet, and he is trying to work with a social worker to get his ID, which was stolen on the street, and he is trying to become better as his son is trying to get a job to help him out. They want to be together. I want my client to have another chance. It is $1.50 bag of chip, Your Honor. And there's no, even though the manager claimed that my client was continuously doing that, there's no evidence that happened before or after. It was just one incident that we have to look at it, and I really wish he can get a signature on bond and get out of the jail and start his new life with his son.
For each charge will be a $50 cash bond, makes for a total of $100 cash bond. Social worker visit to assess for a BHET and housing. Stay away from that Flags Liquor Store. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond.
Your Honor,
Good luck to you, sir.
can you give a sheriff's 10%, please? Nobody's gonna no bonding company will do this at all. $100.
So would you prefer that he has if I give him a $500 good bond per charge, makes for a total of $1,000 good bond with the 10%?
But that's gonna be still hard because it requires collateral. So if he wants to go through the bonding company, he has been struggling with a residential challenge. So there's no property that he can use as a collateral. That's why it will be helpful to have a sheriff's 10%, which does not require any collaterals.
So I'm still not understanding what your request is, Ms. Kim.
$100 cash, but go through 10% sheriff program, then he can come up with a $10.
Okay, well, I don't care how you do it, so that's fine for me to have a $50 cash bond per charge, $100 cash bond, and have the 10%. If that's what you want to do, that's fine with the court.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Who do we have next?
We'll go to the waiver, number 23, Mr. Rowland.
And where is Mr. Rowland?
The waiver.
Oh, waiver, I'm sorry. Mr. Rowland has been charged in case 26 CR 002249D with theft by shoplifting. Their history.
I show 15 cycles, 2024 and 2023 failure to appear, a 2024 battery conviction, a open case out of DeKalb for criminal trespass from June of 2025, and then the last arrest being November of 2025 for theft by shoplifting. That case also appears to be open, and nothing further.
Mr. Sirocco.
Yes, Your Honor. This was April 3rd incident this year at 844 Cleveland Avenue, Walmart. That's in East Point. Loss prevention saw an unidentified individual, later identified as the defendant, stuffing items in a book bag. He proceeded to pass all points of sale with the items in said book bag, and they stopped him. He was brought into loss prevention, and it was upon receiving identification determined that the defendant had been criminally trespassed from 15 different Walmarts surrounding the Metro Atlanta area prior. He was run through the GCIC and came back with no valid warrants, and they advised their Walmart they did want to prosecute and criminally trespass him from the current location. He was the amount of merchandise recovered, which was consumable goods in the amount of $114.28. We would ask for a $2,000 surety in this case, given that open case for theft by shoplifting, presumably at least from November of last year, as well as the FTAs and the other parts of his criminal history here. We're asking for a $2,000 surety. Stay away from the Walmart at 844 Cleveland Avenue in East Point, and no drugs, weapons, or alcohol while out on bond.
Kim?
Mr. Rowland is 24 years young. He was born and raised here in Georgia, Your Honor. He has been living with his foster care parents all his life. He does not have parents or siblings that he can kind of like contact for fund money or anything like that. And because of his history, he has been having very hard time to find a job. And after 11th grade, he could not get his GED yet. But I believe that if instead of going into jail, if he goes and take the classes provided by the Fulton County, it's called Leathers Program for 17 to 24 years old young people like him who has minor charges like theft by shoplifting. It's not like he was robbery or murder or raping. It's a misdemeanor charge. Instead of putting him into jail, he can take classes there and actually get his GED, and also he can get the real life surviving skills that he can actually get a job because they will train him to become auto mechanic or nurse or something that is more productive. So I want him to get a chance to actually have that instead of being in the jail. So we would like to request for signature on bond. I do understand that there's Walmart prosecutes even for 99 cents, 1 pen. So they are very harsh. They're billionaires who can pay for $300 million legal fee to prosecute, but I really think he needs a second chance, Your Honor.
Ms. Kim, if you will present all that, possibly at the SAP calendar, reconsider the bond, so let the SAP people know and maybe run it by the solicitors. I will move him from an SAP calendar on the 21st to the SAP calendar that is the week after tomorrow. And so if you want me to consider that and you have some information for me, I'd be happy to do so if he doesn't get out. But at this time, it'll be $1,000 good bond, social worker visit to assess for BHET and housing, stay away from the Walmart on Cleveland, and no drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond.
Does it mean, Your Honor, that he will be seeing you on April 14th?
Is that the Tuesday?
That is the Tuesday.
Okay, so that's the date, Ms. Kim.
We have a sheriff's 10% program.
That's fine with the court.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, I think the last one's position 29, Wilson. Is that a waiver as well?
That's a medical reset.
Medical reset, Your Honor.
This was behavioral, wasn't it a behavioral reset from Friday?
This is the third reset now. It'll be the fourth after today.
Has it always
was
been
behavior.
for?
It's been behavior.
Been behavior. Okay.
First was medical, then it was behavior. Now, I guess behavior again. This will be the fourth time.
Your Honor, we can actually there is a bond set already, $1,500 security bond. We can just reset her case to competency calendar for Thursday, 11 a.m. because she's very combative. It takes 3 officers to even approach her, and no one can actually get through to get any kind of waiver or consent from her. I think it might be wise to just reset to 11 a.m. at this point.
Okay, well, she has a bond and we can, when is the first court that we can get her on, Ms. Bridgewater or Ms. Lewis? The Thursday at 11 o'clock?
It would be the 16th.
Okay, is that okay, Ms. Kim, the 16th, 4/16?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so we'll be reset until 4/16 SAP.
And what was that bond amount?
1,500 already set by the downtown.
15?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, I believe that completes the 2 o'clock calendar. So Ms. Bridgewater, whenever you're ready for us.
Okay, once again, the reset date for the SAP calendar is April the 21st. Position number 1 is reset further notice with a $1,500 SOB through pretrial. Position 2 is going to the SAP calendar with a total $1,000 good bond. 3, SAP calendar with a $1,000 good bond. 4 is reset further notice with a $5,000 SOB through pretrial. 5, reset further notice with a $2,000 SOB through pretrial. 6 is going to the SAP calendar with a $1,000 good bond. 7, reset further notice with a $500 SOB through the jail. 8, SAP calendar with a total $1,000 good bond. 9, SAP calendar with a $100 good bond. 10 is reset further notice with a $5,000 SOB through pretrial. 11, reset further notice with a $2,500 SOB through pretrial. 12, reset further notice with a total $4,000 SOB through pretrial. 13 is going to the SAP calendar with a $3,000 good bond. 14, SAP calendar with a $100 cash bond. 15, reset further notice with a total $5,000 SOB through pretrial. 16 is going to the SAP calendar for, I had the wrong date.
2,000.
It's a
2,000
total of
good bonds.
2,000. I just had the wrong SAP date, but it's the SAP calendar for April 21st with a total $2,000 good bond. 17 is reset further notice with a total $4,000 SOB through pretrial. 18 is reset further notice with a $2,000 SOB through pretrial. 19 is reset further notice with a $1,000 SOB through pretrial. 20, reset further notice with a $2,000 SOB through pretrial. 21, reset further notice with a total $6,000 SOB through pretrial. 22 is going to the SAP calendar with a total $2,500 good bond. 23 is going to the April 14th SAP calendar with a $1,000 good bond. I hope I said that right. Somebody will let me.
That's correct. That's correct.
Okay. 24 is reset further notice with a $2,000 SOB through pretrial. 25 is reset further notice with a total $5,000 SOB through pretrial. 26 is going to the SAP calendar with a total $2,500 good bond. 27 is going to the SAP calendar with a $50 cash bond. 28 SAP calendar with a total $100 cash bond. And 29 is going to the comp calendar for April 16th. Are there any questions, comments, or otherwise?
Nothing further from friends.
Okay, if not, you all have a good rest of your evening and have a good week. We'll see you next time.
Have a
Okay.
good one.
Wow.
Bye.
Thank you all. Have a good afternoon.
Thank you.